Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Dr. Nasir Shaikh Show. I'm your host, Dr. Nasir, and what's on tap for today? How's this for a teaser, folks? Ana Kasparian of the Young Turks, which we like to call the Young Turks, she gets fired upon by Cenk Uygur. That's right, Cenk the Jenk fires up Ana Kasparian. Did she really get fired? Well, you're going to have to check out the video, folks. So let's go to the tape right now.
To be really angry, right? So that is an enormous factor. In fact, that's the number one factor. And there are plenty of people that I know who, unfortunately, humans are super open to influence, okay? I've told you a couple of times, my uncle voted for Trump, even though Trump was talking about banning Muslim immigrants from the country when he's a Muslim immigrant, right? So propaganda is a hell of a drug. And my uncle's not a bad guy. Another friendly friend I have, a lovely, great guy, unbelievable guy.
Does your uncle love crime?
So hold on. Okay. No, but now Fox News is.
Hold on, Ana. Let me get you fired up a little bit more. Let me trigger you some more. Just hold on. I got some more stuff. My uncle's a stupid, idiotic moron, okay? He doesn't know the difference between Trump and what he's done wrong, but I know everything because I'm a progressive, because I'm a young jerk. And so, you know what? Maybe I can knock some sense into my uncle there or whatever, let him know the error of his ways.
Convince them that it's okay if Donald Trump commits crimes.
But
it's okay if Republican leaders commit crimes.
Hold on 1 second, Cenk. Fox News never acknowledges that Trump has committed crimes. In fact, Fox News is now dealing with a $1.6 billion defamation lawsuit.
They know. So there's a poll out today. 65% of Americans say Donald Trump definitely committed a crime. 41% of Republicans say Donald Trump definitely committed a crime.
Okay.
They just go, I don't care. I don't care that he committed a crime.
So look, that 41%, wrong. But you gotta be specific and say 41% of Republican voters, according to this poll, acknowledge Trump's criminality and they don't care.
And get real, another 40%, no, he did it, but they won't acknowledge it, okay?
Okay, but you're just stating that as fact. Okay, so let me do exactly what you're doing, but to the left, okay? And tell me whether or not you guys would take well to this argument.
Cenk the Jenk does not like this at all. He's getting ready to fire upon Ana Kasparian. He's just waiting for Ana here, okay? He does not like where this is going at all. Trust me, you can tell the body language. I know all about Cenk the Cenk Uygur.
I personally would not take well because I identify as someone who's on the left and I don't agree with this, right? Okay, so let's go to San Francisco. That's in the headlines quite a bit these days. I gotta give you the context of the story so you understand where I'm coming from. So over the weekend, there was this big story about a CNN reporter who got robbed twice, okay? So the two CNN employees went.
Getting robbed twice in San Francisco once wasn't enough. They had to get robbed twice. I thought San Francisco was a great place to be. No crime, nothing going on over there, right?
To San Francisco specifically to report on property crimes and an uptick in crime in San Francisco overall. So
Karma, gotta love it.
La tweeted that she and the senior producer for CNN's Los Angeles bureau were inside City Hall for an interview, okay, when thieves allegedly broke into their car, breaking the window, and then they removed items within seconds. So she writes, got robbed again. Jason and I were at City Hall in San Francisco to do an interview for CNN. We had security to watch our rental car plus crew car. Like they had security with them and they had already had this incident happen to them. They didn't want to repeat, which is why they got the security, right? Now, thieves did this in under 4 seconds. Security stopped the jerks from stealing other bags, but seriously, this is ridiculous. And look, the property crimes in San Francisco are ridiculous. It's brazen, it happens in the middle of the day. In fact, it happens so often that you're about to see what airlines have done in response to it. But she continues in this thread by saying, San Francisco is a beautiful city. This is our 3rd day here and I've loved my time here. But if you do visit the city, know that even with hired security watching your car, it is not enough. Now,
basically what they're saying is if you go to San Francisco, you're gonna get robbed, you're gonna get screwed. And you know what? without Vaseline, folks. You're going to get screwed. Bend over, no Vaseline.
Stole her bags, which included her passport and identification. So she was worried about being able to fly back home. But get a load of this. Because so many people get their cars broken into and their bags stolen, she wrote, Southwest Air was very used to my lack of ID problem and smoothly gave me my ticket after a brief security check off to TSA now. Now you might say, all right, Anna, like what does this have to do with the left? Are you just highlighting this because it happened in San Francisco, which of course is pretty progressive? It's more than that, okay? Because the San Francisco Democratic Party endorsed a district attorney candidate, and you're about to hear from him. His name is John Hamasaki, who takes to mocking victims of these types of crimes. For instance, one person had written on Twitter, my teammates will be scarred forever. This person is a foreigner and also dealt with a similar situation. Being robbed hits you at your core, especially when it's thousands of dollars of loss. There is no downtown recovery without an aggressive push for safety. And then he tagged Mayor London Breed. Now, the district attorney candidate that was endorsed by the Democratic Party in San Francisco said, interesting, would getting your car window broken and some stuff stolen leave you scarred forever? Is this what the suburbs do to you? Shelter you from basic city life experiences so that when they happen, you are broken to the core? He's writing this.
This guy is what I call the acronym that I coined SIMR, S-I-M-R. He's a stupid, idiotic, moronic retard. Not only that, he's a POS, he's a jackass, he's any modifier, any adjective that you could come up with. You've got to come up with something even more that describes what kind of a POS this guy is. Somebody came from another country, got robbed in a city in the United States of America. This district attorney, this prosecutor, this jackass, this POS basically says, you scarred forever? What, do you have such thin skin that you can't take a couple of $1,000s worth of loss? I mean, is that, hey, just par for the course when you come to the United States of America. What'd you expect, huh? Kumbaya? Did you expect, the Garden of Eden? This guy is a freaking jackass.
To someone who traveled to the United States from another country, basically telling him, oh, you were a victim of crime, you can go F off, okay?
So is there a portion of the left that is way too permissive about crime? Yeah, of course.
Yes, of course they are. Way too permissive, like 99.99%. Defund the police. Did you hear about that there? Cenk the jank?
So, but first of all, look at this. I acknowledge an obvious reality. Already in right-wing media, that would be impossible, right? They would never acknowledge that they have radical right, etc. So, but okay, now let's look at how left-wing voters dealt with that versus right-wing voters, right? So Hamasaki, by the way, lost. In Seattle, they elected a bunch of progressives because they thought progressive means helping the average.
They would never elect right-wing voters, right people on that would have never elected a leftist, elitist scumbag like that in the first place, Cenk the jank. Don't you understand that? Or are you so full of hot air that you don't understand that either? What are you, just a blubbering, blithering buffoon?
Average person making progress towards equality, etc. That's true. It does mean those things.
No, it doesn't.
And then, for whatever reason, the crazed left-wing activists in Seattle said, no, that means we just set up a nonstop crime central in the middle of Seattle and destroy everything in our path and believe in anarchy. And then the left-wing voters of Seattle were like, no, that's not what we meant. Most of you are fired, okay? Same thing happened in Portland. Same thing's gonna happen in San Francisco and in LA. The prosecutor recalled very left-wing voters saying, I am against this. Whereas Republicans—
Wrong, you stupid moronic idiot. Simmer to you too, Cenk. It's not just the left. Overwhelmingly, it was a Republican vote. Over 90% of it that came inside there. The Democratic vote was still split along with this candidate. You don't know what the hell you're talking about.
Republicans, 41% say, yeah, I know Trump's a criminal, so what?
Okay, that's fair enough. And by the way, I'm just being clear in that I believe that it is wrong to take examples like this and make a blanket statement about the left loving crime, okay? But let me give you more. because Los Angeles is a little different. By the way, a few more things I got to tell you about this guy. He is insane because he's in favor of, I guess, teenagers having possession of stolen guns. Here's another example. So apparently there was a post on Twitter about how a stolen 9mm gun was confiscated from a 17-year-old teenager, right? Mm-hmm. Hamasaki responded to that by saying, uncomfortable truth, taking a gun from one kid may as likely stop violence as end up in that kid getting killed. It may feel good to post this photo, but I've known too many kids who were killed for being in the wrong neighborhood, often their own, and unable to protect. The 17-year-old was in possession of a stolen gun. And this guy has a problem with that gun being taken away from him.
Because he's a Democrat, Anna. He's a freaking Democrat. And I'm telling you what, there will be a ton of Democrats, a ton of them, that would be on the side of this stupid, idiotic, moronic DA. I'm telling you, you guys just don't understand this thing. That's what's happening. That's where these cultural wars are fighting. You guys say, oh, it's just there to, make everybody all like, worried about all this other stuff, where all this other stuff is happening up here. Oh, don't look at the right hand, see what the left hand is doing. What the hell are you guys talking about? You're making our point for us, and now, of course, it's not 100%. We all know it's not 100%. And when we do these things, we use hyperbole just like everybody else does. But if you boil it down to the essential facts, you will find that there will be a lot of Democrats that would side with this guy. I don't think you would see a single person on the right, a single Republican, a single MAGA voter that would side with this guy. Not a single one. Unless he's faking and saying he's on the right, but he's actually on the left.
And he's like, oh, he's using it for his protection. First of all, how do you know? Second of all, no, 17-year-olds don't get to walk around with stolen weapons and say, oh, it's for my protection. How do you know that guy wasn't going to commit a significant crime with that stolen weapon, which is already a significant crime? But
so with the Democratic establishment in San Francisco endorsing this guy, one could argue, right? I would say it's inaccurate. One could argue the left loves crime, but the left doesn't love crime.
No, but Anna,
that is a mischaracterization.
But those leftists there, I think, are extreme, and yeah, they think crime is not that big a deal. They say it all the time.
Representative of all left-wing voters.
Of course not, but that's my point.
So I just look. All I'm asking for.
These guys, okay, they're making my point. They're making our point for us. They're exactly doing that. That's. Like Cenk was saying, he's going, yeah, that's not right. A 17-year-old, okay, having an illegal gun, that's a crime already. And yeah, he's using it for protection. That's stupid. But look, if, for example, a typical ordinary leftist person thinks in that way, that's bad in itself. And you're going to have a lot of people on the, I bet you AOC and some of these other leftist lunatics, they'd come out on the side and say, you know what? Yeah, look at the neighborhood they're coming out of. He doesn't have a father. He's walking the streets at night all by himself. He's all lonely by himself. What could he be doing? He might get hoyt. He needs protection. So what if he got an illegal 9mm Glock? Who cares? He's not going to do anything wrong with it. He's just using it for protection. But what I'm basically saying is the fact that if a leftist voter, liberal, progressive, thinks that, that's pretty bad. But when you have the district attorney, the prosecutor, the state basically intimating that there's really nothing wrong with that, that's a whole different other story. Where would you see anybody on the right, a conservative, a Republican prosecutor, ever utter those words, ever basically, okay, F off or F you to a person who came from another country and saying, you know what, so what, you got your stuff stolen. You have things skinned, you don't understand, who cares? What are you, scarred for life? Oh, it's okay for a 17-year-old to have an illegal gun? That would never happen on the right, never. So I don't know, Cenk the Jank, you're just, the narrative and the falsities and the way that you're presenting this whole argument is so unbelievably what's underhanded. The subterfuge that you're using, the obfuscation that's there, it's absolutely terrible. You really are pushing this thing that it is the right that is doing all this thing to hype this whole stuff up when it's the left that's doing this? Unbelievable. Anyways, folks, that was part 2 of this video clip. We hope you enjoyed it, and you've been watching the Dr. Nasir Shaikh Show. I've been your host. My name is Dr. Nasir. If you haven't already done so, subscribe to our channel, hit that notification bell, like, share, and follow us. Let us know what you think. And my final thought of the day is, when you're right, you're right. And when you're left, like Cenk Uygur, obviously you're wrong. We'll see you again next time, folks. Take care and stay safe.